What up, Tube? What are we doing today? We're going to shine up the Dull Hatchwing on our 2018 Tucson. And a few weeks back we showed you how the roof was shinier than the wing, or the lip, or whatever we want to call it. So today we're going to clean this up. So first we're going to do just a rinseless wash on the top to get all the grime off of it. Quick quick clay bar. So we're going to clay bar it, and then we're going to wipe it down, and then we're going to go with the least aggressive method first. So we're going to use an all-in-one polish and finish from DetailJuice.com. Let's get to it. Alright, so we already did a rinseless wash, and we have an old video on how to do that. It's our wash of choice, unless it's super grimy. We'll get into that on another video pretty soon here, actually, as to exterior wash. We'll also get more into depth on paint enhancement and some paint correction in later videos as well. We're just going to do this really quick. So I'm using a detail spray. This is actually from Adams. It's their Adams detail spray. So we're going to use that as the lubricant for the clay bar. This is a clay bar case from Adams, but actually it is Adams clay bar. Bought it in Colorado last year when we were there. Our three main products of choice brands are Meguiar's, DetailJuice.com, and Adams. It's just what we're comfortable with. There's a lot of options out there. The Adams Swirl Killer is a really, really good 15 millimeter throw, 6-inch DA. So that's what we use as the machine part. We're using Buff and Shine pads. This is their purple medium pad, so not super aggressive. And then, like I said, we're going to start off with DetailJuice.com's Universal All-in-One. This is a polish, a protectant, all-in-one. So we like to start with the least aggressive method to see if that works. If it doesn't work, then we can go a little bit more aggressive. So if we need to step it up, we'll go to the Adams Paint Correction Polish. I do also have DetailJuice.com compound, Meguiar's compound. There's a bunch of options. You don't have to use these products. Links for these products will be in the description. This is just what we like to use. We don't get paid by them. We've just been using them for years, and we know it works for us. So let's get started. All right, first of all, let's take a look at what we're starting with. You see, this is dull and that's shiny. As mentioned in the video from a few weeks ago, this part is a plastic ABS type of material, and this is the metal roof. Okay, so this is dulled out. We want to make this look like that, and that's what our attempt is today. So we're going to go ahead and clay bar everything in an area this big, which is about 3 feet wide, but only maybe 6-7 inches up and down. You really want to work when you're clay barring. You don't want to take a huge area and do it. You want to take a small area, but this area is not very big. We're just going to cut it in half. We're going to do this half and then that half, and then we're going to feel it. And a really easy way to see the high and low spots is to take a plastic bag and put your hand in it and see where everything is with the plastic bag, just like a little sandwich bag. Okay, so we're going to do that first. Then we're going to tape off the middle. We're going to polish one side, and we'll see what the difference is when we're done. So let's get to it. So the quick way to do it, and first of all, you want a clean microfiber to be able to wipe up. And you're going to start with your clay. Excuse the band-aid. This is an older piece of clay, but it's still pliable and soft. And the idea is the clay is going to go over the surface and basically pick up any contaminants that are stuck to the paint that don't come off with a regular wash. You don't have to do this every time you wash your car, but you definitely want to do it before you're going to polish any area of the car. You don't want any of that grime or brake dust or anything that's staying on there to go into the pad of the polisher with the polish and rub itself into the paint. You want this surface as decontaminated as possible. So what I remember, and do not drop your clay, because if it hits the ground, it's going to pick up any dust that's on it. So I usually keep the microfiber nearby. I got this one, I got that one. We can lay it on there. So what I do is I put it in my hand and I simply wet it with some detail spray, and this just kind of makes it a little bit more pliable. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and wet the area we're working on, and be liberal with your detail spray. You don't have to be, you know, stingy about it, and simply just go across. I go cross hatch all the way across, up and down. And if you feel the clay getting sticky, okay, then you're gonna want to just add more lubrication, so more detail spray. Okay, and as you can see, it's starting to get a little dirtier, so wipe it off. And I usually do 2 passes, and unless the car is just horrible, then this should do it all. All right, let's do the other half. And the key thing is not applying a lot of pressure. You go up and down. That's what it looks like. We get our trusty sandwich bag, and we're gonna go over it again, and we still feel a lot of little bumps, and that's what you're looking for, little tiny bumps, and you can feel it with the bag. So we're gonna go over it one more time, the entire thing. Alright, so we're going to go over this one more time. We went over with our little bag. I'll show it to you in a sec here. But it still had some high spots. We're going to roll our clay. Make sure we got a nice clean spot. We're not applying a lot of pressure. We simply, just fair pressure. And we're going up and down, cross hatch style, like this. And this is, should have said this in the beginning, but you want to do this in the shade. You don't want to do this in direct sunlight. The detail spray will dry very quickly. You don't want that, especially when you're polishing. You don't want the polish to dry in direct sunlight. That would not help your cause. So if at all possible, and I know there's some polishers out there that claim you can use them in direct sunlight, don't, or use your discretion, but every detailer will pretty much tell you, if you can, use it in the shade. Our baggie. Now we're smooth. That's it. So it took about 4 passes with the clay bar to get it to where there's no high spots. I'm going to tape off the middle, and then I'll show you how we're going. Alright, we're going to take our all-in-one from Detail Juice. We're going to put about 5 drops on our pad. About pea-sized drops. Now there's a few different ways of doing this. Some people rub the polish into the pad. Some people will just do this. Now you can saturate the pad. I put about 5. You don't really want to saturate it too much. I'm going to just simply do this and put it in. And just move it around. I'm going to set the machine to 1 to 6, 1 being the lowest. The reason why you put the 5 drops in and rub it in, because if you don't, you're just going to fling it everywhere. This gets you even coverage. Working in the shade, it's not going to dry too fast. I'm going to polish at 5, okay? You go too fast, you might leave some haze. You go too slow, you won't do anything. Gonna have to play with it. 5 usually is what works best for me. I got a nicer microfiber towel. This is what we're gonna use to wipe up the polish. Let's just do a pass, and we're gonna do cross. We're gonna go cross, horizontal, and then vertical. I am not going to speed this up. This is my actual speed. When you're using the DA, this moves in an osculating fashion. You want to make sure the pad's actually moving. And you see here, I have it marked with the little black marks, and you can see that if these marks aren't rotating, it's because the pad isn't moving. That being said, watch for the pad to move. I took about 2 to 3 passes. We're going to wipe this up and see what it looks like. Now it's a little bit better, but I got a feeling we're gonna have to go to something a little bit more aggressive. So that's a little bit better, but I think I'm gonna hit it with the Adams compound instead. So I'm using the Adams paint correction polish. This is a really good polish. It's not super aggressive, but a little bit more aggressive than the other one. This doesn't have any properties for any kind of protection in it, so it doesn't have the acrylic protection that the DetailJuice.com stuff has in it. Same thing, we put a new pad on it, same level of pad. We're going to work it in, okay? And we're just going to go across and let it work. That was at 1, this is at 5 feet. I'm actually going to go up to 5.5. Now when you're done, turn the machine off and let it power down while it's moving on the paint. This is going to also prevent any excess polish from flinging around. And I'm gonna say that's there. Now, best way, what I like to do is take an LED light and put it up next to the paint. Now, our reference point is the roof, which we knew was in good shape. So I'm gonna go get my LED real quick. So I'm gonna use my LED just to go over the paint from the roof line to the wing. It's still a little dull, but it's a lot closer, and I got a feeling that maybe the clear coat might have gotten damaged on this wing. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna spray the pad with some detail spray just to get it a little bit saturated or wet. And there's still polish left on it. We're gonna use that. As you can see, there's some white residue on there. We're gonna use that to go ahead and give it another pass with the extra polish that's left on there. We're going to be as close to there as we can get there. It's a lot shinier. We got a couple of stains in the paint right here, but if we go any stronger, we could actually eat through the clear coat. But right now, I think where we are where we want to be in regards to the goal of getting some shine back on that. Now, when I refer to a pass, it's 1, 2. So across and up and down is 1 pass. Okay, so I usually go 2 to 3 passes at a time, and then check it. So that's what we've done. Let's go ahead and take a look at what it looks like. Now, you don't want to be afraid to tackle this. Okay, already look how much shinier that is. You can actually see the reflection of the bottles where you couldn't really see any reflection on this side. Let's take the tape off. Okay, we're gonna wipe this area down where the residue was. Alright, there you go. This is just a little bit of over polish that I went over the tape line just a tad, but this is what it looked like prior. That's where the tape was, and that's a huge difference. Okay, now the paint correction polish, you can go over it with a lighter polish, but I'm really happy with the result. There's no hazing. We got a couple of stains, and these are the stains in the paint. There's not a whole lot we're going to be able to do about that without literally maybe doing a wet sand. But honestly, as hazy as this was, as dull as this was, I don't want to ruin the clear coat. I'm going to go ahead and finish that side. We're going to protect it. How much pressure was I putting on the machine? Enough pressure to keep it spinning. Literally maybe 2 pounds of pressure. Sometimes I'm just got my hand on the top of the machine simply to stabilize it, and then I use my hand on the actual handle of the machine, okay, to go up and down and get it to where the pad is spinning properly. Alright, I'm going to go we got some polish on there, we'll wipe that off. I'm going to finish that. We'll come back and take a look at the whole thing and tell you how to finish it off. Alright, it's shiny. It matches the roof. I think we did a pretty good job. We're going to take some of this residue off here. If you have a hard time getting some of the residue off because it stayed on a little too long, usually detail spray will use the trick. I didn't have to do anything there. We're going to top this off to protect it, and this will give you about 2 to 3 months protection depending on how the car is kept, how often you maintenance it. I would say worst case scenario, 2 months, best case 3. We wash the car. We do not, we don't do, we coat it every time with this topper, then obviously it's going to last way longer, but it does live outside. We do live in Texas. It's hot. So, yeah, you're going to get a little bit different results if the car lives outside with the dust and the heat. So, that being said, this is ceramic spray wax. It's from XPC. I'm going to show a picture of it right now. I have a link in the description. Okay. You don't dilute this. I buy it by the gallon because, we detail cars. So that's part of the side business. So you're just going to be, a little goes a long way with this stuff. So, and then we're just going to take a clean microfiber rag and just rub it in gently. It doesn't need to, no force here. Just get it around all the area and until it hazes away. Almost like a detail spray. I'm going to go twice. You see there's not a lot there. And we're just going to go over it again. And again, you want to apply this in the shade. This definitely you want to go in the shade. You do not want to do this in direct sunlight. And then just let it sit. Usually I let it cure for 30 minutes before I put any water on it, but there's no reason to. It's nice and clean already. So there we go, guys and gals. Y'all, we're done. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please give us a like, give us a subscribe, leave us a few comments if you have any questions. If I missed something, we're going to go into more detail on a longer video on how to polish a panel. We're going to, continue our detail series. I know we're behind on it. On the next thing is the exterior wash. I got 2 methods that are popular and we use. That both involve 2 buckets. One involves a lot of water and one is a rinseless. But anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this. We're going to touch a little more on this soon. We got it back to where we wanted to. It's protected. Should last us a while. And I think what we're going to do is be a little more cautious on how we maintain this going forward. Have a great week, y'all. God bless.